All right. Well, thanks again to another exciting episode of Martinis with Nick. I'm here today with theater critic Howard Shapiro.
Hi.
Before coming to WHYY's Newsworks, Howard Shapiro spent 10 years as a Philadelphia Inquirer's staff theater critic, responsible for reviewing here and on Broadway. During nearly 43 years at the newspaper, his assorted reporting and editing jobs included cultural arts editor and editor of the travel section. Howie was among the newsroom staff awarded the Pulitzer Prize as a group in 1980 for coverage of a nuclear accident at 3 Mile Island in central Pennsylvania. He's been a Nieman Fellow at Harvard University and an Internews Fellow in Greece. He was a fellow and later a mentor at the National Endowment for the Arts Institute for Theater Critics in Los Angeles. He's also a Broadway critic for the NPR affiliates of the Classical Network, teaches art criticism at Temple University, and has been hanging around theaters much of his life. But that's not what he's going to be doing today. Today, he's going to help me eat shrimp over a salad and drink this lovely pitcher of martinis.
Yes, I think that's the ticket, you know? A little break from hanging around the theater.
Yeah, I hear that. Welcome to my home.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here, and what a lovely home, too.
Thank you.
Look at this
much.
porch to see these flowers. These lovely.
And feel free to tuck into your lunch as we go,
Okay.
because I worry about you keeping your strength up.
I'll be fine. My strength is okay. Somebody asked me on an airplane, I was sitting beside, what do you do? I told her I was a critic, theater critic, and she said, what a terrible thing to be. She said, to be critical of everything, how can you do that? And I sort of dropped the conversation because I figured, let her think it. You know that in the history of criticism there are many, many good pieces written about
Absolutely.
or not good pieces, but things that of approval that are written.
But those aren't the ones that people remember.
Actually,
Right.
Yes and no. I mean, there is magic on this stage tonight. Terry Teachout, Wall Street Journal, The Lion King. People remember that. And I think that, I know what you're saying. I don't think the good ones are things that actors remember or theater artists. I'm sorry, I think it's the bad stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
And I find it always funny that if I like something and celebrate it, to the people who run that company, I'm a genius. If I don't like something and point out what I think are holes in it, I'm an absolute moron. I'm a regular audience member with a great big mouth. And I get to use it, and I hope I use it in a smart way, and somebody thinks I do in order to read me or hire me. And I'm not an academic, although there'd be nothing wrong with that. I don't come out of the theater world. I'm an audience, and I don't want to be. I just want to be an audience member.
And that's fine and that's great, so long as you acknowledge that you're the only person in the world that thinks of you as simply an audience member.
These quotes go from very general to really pretty specific to give you a clue.
Did you say Pacific?
Specific.
But you said Pacific.
Yes, I did say Pacific, but I retook it. It is possessed by raging demons, punctuated by comedy, and its laughter is shot through with savage irony. Next quote. This is John Chapman from the New York Daily News. 3.5 hours long, 4 characters wide, and a cesspool deep. And one more. The title phrase is sung at odd moments to the tune of the children's song Mulberry Bush. Da 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 da.
Right. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? Is that Who's Afraid of Virginia
Yes,
Woolf?
it is. That was weird. But isn't that fun? I mean, the idea that, Raging Demons, punctuated by comedy,
Yeah.
is pitted against a cesspool. You know, people liked it or they didn't like it. The play tackles the idea of God and the elements in a clever and challenging way. Here's another one. Because the ideas are huge and the playwright wants to make sure we understand, he spends most of 75 minutes rephrasing the same problem with small variations, preceded only by tiny increments. Here's the third one. A curious and amusing give and take between two female figurines. But now I'm going to zip into another play because it's the same playwright who wrote both. This is 2006, it's 5 words in the title. It would be compelling with a script that indicated motivation and had a generous dose of nuance. Here's another one.
You're such an
The
asshole.
characters will bombard you, and you won't really understand their motivation for doing so. Here's another one. A nice play that doesn't plumb its implied depth. I love this one. This actually is by a critic on a site called Phileast, and it's unsigned. I can't understand it. I feel like those few seconds I may have dozed through, I probably missed something great. And that person also wrote, and we'll end it with this one. One of the best new plays I've seen in Philadelphia in quite some time. So, who's the playwright, and what are the plays?
Oh, that would be me, and that would be Snow Globe and The Biggest Box of Crayons.
Yeah, Snow Globe and The Biggest Box.
Oh, I know my own reviews.
I remember. Oh, do you? People write me sometimes and say, your review really made it hard for this theater company to continue on next year.
Wow.
And I write back and say, first of all, it's almost never true. And secondly, because I don't have that kind of power, and I don't want that kind of power. But secondly,
I agree. You're not that nearly that important.
yeah, well, we're critics, you know. And secondly, no, the play is the production's what's important. You know, and secondly, I say if I'm worried about the future of this theater company, rather than what I was looking at them do, how could I be a critic? So, you know, I know it's hard to understand, and there's lots of nuance to it. I'm not sure I understand it all the time.
You've closed down a couple theaters, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get it.
Right.
With your iron fist.
Yeah, I do this because I don't want people to go to the theater, right? You know the nastiest note I ever remember? It was an email. It came to me. It was from a reader, and it was from my days at the Inquirer. Somebody wrote, "Dear Mr. Shapiro, you fucking moron." And then went on to tell me what to think. You know the funny thing about it is I don't remember I think I know which play it was years and years ago, but the person then told me about things in the play that I should have noticed that were not in the text and were not on stage either. And I find a lot of that. People see what they want to see and they take out of a play what they want to take from it. The only difference is I've got to be actually accurate. I was walking down 44th Street. I can't remember whether it was the L&A's. Jackie Mason was there, and he had just done his latest show, which I thought was really funny. And I had written a short review, which they blew up, and they put on the wall of the theater. And I'm walking across the street, and I noticed it, you know, and I didn't have my glasses on, so I threw them on. I said, "Oh, I wrote that." And there are these two people reading it. Apparently, like really quietly, like taking it in. It was a guy about my age and a woman who looked to be his mother, so she was up there. And they read it, and I stood there reading it with them, sort of, because it was such a weird experience that writers never get. What playwrights do, but people like me don't. And the woman turned to the guy, and she said, "Huh, Jackie Mason, who gives a shit?"
Have you ever gotten into a fist fight with someone you reviewed?
Pardon me. No. Although, in Philly, it's been known to happen that somebody grabbed a reviewer's shirt by the collar and yanked him around and
I was kidding. Wow. Somebody you know, I assume.
Somebody we all know, but not.
Okay.
I don't think theater sucks. In fact, I think much of what I see, a whole lot of what I see, is really worthwhile. You know, it may not be gorgeously produced, and it may have a flaw for this or that, but basically you walk out saying, that was an experience that I'm glad I saw. What I think, but I'll tell you what I think goes wrong. A lot of times lately, especially in new work, I've been noticing plot going awry, or being forgotten, or not being focused on, and then also structure is a big deal. I think Bruce Graham told you that he thought structure was a big deal. And when I saw him say that, I thought, there's a theater critic for you. I don't know if he'd appreciate that, but structure is also a problem in some plays that try to do too much or should do more but do too little. Critics go to the theater at the worst possible time of the run.
Right.
Opening night.
Right.
If critics went to the theater the last week, which would do nobody any good who reads us, we might see a production that is so thoroughly well shaped that there's no exception anybody could take to it.
Right. So thanks again for wasting another perfectly good, whatever this is, 15 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever, of Martinis with Nick.
2 minutes.
Whatever, hanging out with us. Thanks again to my guest, Howie Shapiro.
Oh, thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. It was fun.
I'm glad. I'm glad, and yeah, I'll make sure to put my criticism of you up online next week. Stay tuned after the credits to see Howie Shapiro's hidden talent.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to start putting some things on here. We'll just...
Yes, chef.
We don't have to... we don't have to...
Normally I'm fighting with the squirrels, but they only come after the plants after there's actual fruits on them.
Right, because they think they're nuts, right? We have groundhogs and stuff.
You're saying they're moving? What do you say?
Yeah, I think they're moving here to the main line.
They're organizing.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I love Himalayan. I love
How much
Himalayan.
We have red Hawaiian clay sea salt.
How about Celtic Grey?
How's that? That looks good.
Olive oil. Mm-hmm. Drizzled on. There we go. Oh, that's quite enough for this.
yeah.
That's really good.
Perfect.
And that's it. I don't toss it. You don't toss it. You just let the flavors blend there. Here we go.
Got it.
Voila.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's my pre-theater, summer theater tomatoes.
Magnifique.
Eat that and run to the curtain.
Take that, Hollinger.
Yes, it worked, Michael. Okay, Bruce, you think you're so